Alrighty then. Welcome back to the Screen Surger Podcast, the number one podcast
In the tri-state area.
Your mom's favorite podcast.
We're going to be discussing a lot of topics and how we feel about them.
The official podcast of Walmart. That is exciting. We have to announce we are officially cut a deal with Walmart. We are their official podcast.
Shop smarter. Shop Walmart.
Okay, so let's get into our first topic here, which is paying on a date.
Okay, so I think this is a really simple topic. For me personally, there's only one way to do it. You ask a girl out on a date, you pay for the date. The fact that this is even a subject for discussion is appalling.
And I just got here with, I do have my thoughts on it, but someone just hit me. What do gay guys do on dates? Who pays for the date? Because they're both guys.
Do we have a guest that we can call in that is possible homosexual who can fill us in on this?
I just had that thought for the first time. Who pays for the date if you're both guys? And if you're lesbians, does no one pay? You guys just steal the food? You guys just steal it?
You've given me a lot to think about.
Well, here's my opinion in a normal heterosexual relationship, who should pay for the date. I think if you're going on a date, if you ask your girl on a date, it's very simple. You pay for the date. The girl's supposed to pull out her wallet and say, oh, and then you say, oh, no, that's okay. It's my treat. Mm-hmm. The girl should offer to, but she shouldn't expect to actually have to pay. The guy should pay. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
But the girl should offer to out of courtesy, but she shouldn't actually expect to, and it's that simple.
Yep, I could not agree more. I've had several experiences, unfortunately, where I had to inform my friends or people that, hey, listen, you said, can I take you out to dinner? That means you have to pay for her dinner, and this was news to some people.
Yeah, it's like shocking. It's like even if it shouldn't cost $100, but even if it did, you go out, you're having a fun time. It's not the end of the world. You can actually make that money back. And the worst thing you could do on a first date is look like a cheap ass. Mm-hmm. That is the worst thing you could do.
Yeah, I really don't have much more to say other than it's just...
Don't break the bank, of course.
If you ask someone out on the date, you should be paying for it.
Yeah. And you should have fun, and you should not even think about the money.
Absolutely. The money should really be the last... It's a really good sign when the girl offers to pay for it.
Which they almost always do.
Well, actually, that can also be a bad sign. That can also mean I'm never going to see you again, and I don't want to. Yeah,
and I don't want you to get the wrong message.
Free dinner.
So I will.
So it's either really good or really bad. Honestly, you'll know if you get a second date.
Yeah, but I feel like there's always going to be an offer to, as there should be.
I don't think I've ever been on a date where there hasn't been an offer.
To pay, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, what other things have happened in your life for interesting topics? I mean, if you haven't noticed, guys, we got the studio's coming together now. What do we want to?
You guys are noticing we're working a lot on lighting. We're getting some stuff set up right now, so you might notice a little bit more dramatic lighting here. We're playing with some settings right now, but the studio, as you can see, is coming together. We have our air sign. We have our Screen Surger logo in the background. You guys can't see, but there's millions of dollars of camera equipment just off camera. You can't see it, but it's there. So, the multi-million-dollar renovation is well underway.
So, yeah, I mean, like the whole goal with this place, and it is crazy how limited our space is here. It's not that small, and it's more than what we need for this. But it's like we have about 150. Actually, we have about 200 square feet of just set space here for the podcast. What you see on camera. And when you're trying to light it and everything like that, that's fairly restrictive. It's more than enough for a pod, but it is restrictive.
It's definitely challenging right now because being in the middle of renovations, there is shit everywhere.
There's a mess around us that you can't see.
You guys can't see. It looks really clean because we have this corner that is super well kept, but the rest of it, work in progress.
I mean, and once this is all done, we'll have the entire other side. We're gonna have like 3 set spaces here. Well, 4. We have just Screen Surger, the render row for Cameron's stuff. Cameron's gonna have his desk, which will also double as a set, and then we have behind the camera we have a TV set, which is a living room set. We can always drop these curtains too and do press junkets. So, but honestly, hopefully in 5 years we're out of this location and onto something. Maybe I would like to have like an office of some degree where we can write and create and then have a little set space there.
I'm just looking for better rates right now because our current landlord for this location is fucking killing us. But that's you take what you can get.
It's not even a. I mean, in the next 5 years, I don't want. Ideally, it'd be cool to have an office on a lot to then have like a we don't need our own warehouse or sound stage. That would be cool. And maybe if we take off more in the digital independent content space, that'd be important. But I'd like to really
I actually like
be
the
getting paid.
whole. We kind of have different views on this. You kind of just want an office with cubicles for writing and all that other bullshit. I want set space too. I want a creative sandbox where I can play with lights and cameras and rig equipment because I really enjoy the process of building up cameras and equipment and scenes and lighting and stuff. So I want more of that soundstage space.
That's interesting, and it's true. You're more geared towards that. I like the idea of having having. I really focus on the writing and the creative, the creating of the stories and the concepts and the formatting. You're big into the technical stuff, although we do cross over into each section. But you really do mostly do the technical and the animation. So for you, that makes perfect sense.
Do you feel that writing so much reflects poorly on your sexual orientation?
I don't know why that would be funny. I don't know why you make that joke. No, it does not.
Because a lot of people would say negative things about that. Not myself, but a lot of people.
No, I think that I think it's a good thing. I think it shows that I'm deep. I have emotion. I have emotion because on the outside I appear as this cold. If you met me in person, probably wouldn't strike most people as the most deep, passionate, sensitive person. But I express that in my writing. Like a turtle, I have layers.
Hard exterior, but you're soft on the inside.
Yep, exactly. And I mean, the future, the way that I see the future is we have our own space, whatever that is, and then we kind of just I'd like to make a feature film, direct a feature film, at least one a year for the next, and then have my hand in producing others.
So we actually have entirely different views on this stance as well, as far as breaking into Hollywood. And I guess we'll see what works first when we do break in, keyword when. Because I believe in making shorts and sizzle reels, and then the hardest part about that is no longer, we used to make shit and it would be, oh, I can't make this on my iPhone and I don't have a camera. We're, a little bit older now. We're still children, but at 25 years old, we have the resources to do more professional stuff. The problem is now we don't have anywhere to pitch it to. We don't have these contacts necessarily.
Here's the thing.
That's my dilemma.
I think it's great to make shorts to build your social media following and then to create your ideas and as an incubator for your ideas. Like what we have here is kind of a platform. It's almost like an improv group, the comedy that we do and the jokes that we make. We work the way that an improv group would work as a sandbox. It's practice. It's all we need. But I think when it comes down to making a film, we also have all the technical abilities to make. I have a couple of scripts right now, and I could make them with us the exact way I want to see them done. If you could spend $1 million on these movies, and I think I'd get the same result for 10,000. I don't think it costs big money to make the movies I want to make because we're going to act in them. We've written them. I'm going to direct it, or you're going to direct these things. Our crew is going to be people that are also in them, hopefully. And I see no reason not to just go make that movie. And I think at that point, if we can make a movie that proves to be successful to some degree, with our following being the people who buy tickets, then Hollywood will have no choice but to notice. And then as soon as you're making money, they come find you either way. So with the shorts, though, you're still dependent to say, hey, can you make this? For me, if you wanted to make a good quality short, like we could also just make a character-based story-driven movie that's not like big set pieces or special effects.
The part where we disagree on is, are you willing to shell out $10,000 on a project that potentially won't get picked up versus
we already have
even $2,000 on just a sizzle reel or something small?
We already have the camera equipment, and there's something powerful about going to a film market saying we have a movie, it matches your technical specs, it has a talent attached to it, it's done. Just put it out there. That can happen.
Powerful, but does powerful pay the bills?
And when you look back though at all these great directors, they all have a ton of movies that just went nowhere but they made full-length movies. There's honestly, we don't know which way is going to break us through, but we have to try and flip every stone. I've been making shorts for so long. We have a wacky sense of humor, and I think we just need to pull the trigger and I have a script for a movie, and I want to see the movie made. And I think if we rate on other people, it simply will never happen. I do not wait for anybody. We're making the movie, and we're going to get it out there.
I definitely agree with not waiting for people. I've experienced drastic wait times in my multiple attempts to break into Hollywood, and every time it's It's a waiting game. And
Yeah.
the whole reason, honestly, we're sitting here doing this today is because I got sick of waiting for other people to make stuff happen for me. So I decided to try and make it happen myself, me and Quinn. And so here we are, making our own content, learning. We just sat for an hour rigging up lights to try and make a better looking production.
Yeah. And
that's really how you break in, is just
do
the
it yourself.
Yeah, doing it yourself and just the unseen work.
I mean, I was watching this documentary on David Geffen the other day, and he when he started and he would break musical acts. That was his first job in entertainment. He worked in the music industry, and he would do unorthodox things with his artists, and they were super grassroots, the marketing and the creating of the artists and the building them up. The same way we're doing here. I mean, people have this idea in their head that when they see a someone well-known in music, entertainment, TV, whatever, that they were just like put there. But the reality is it all starts with, scraping your way to the top.
I think that anything's possible when you have a presence online. Honestly, being an entertainer, making it into the Hollywood sphere, I personally think is easier than ever now. A lot of people complain, oh, I don't like the generation I was born in. I fucking love the time I was born.
We were born in a gold rush. Quite literally, we've put out pieces of video. Our page is over, I think, 1 million views on it. We don't have a lot of followers. I don't know what's going on there because I've created other social media pages where the followers come in like that. Mm-hmm. I think people see our comedy and our brand of comedy and they're put off by it. They're like, what is this? Mm-hmm. But eventually people will get with the program and understand we're funny as fuck.
Eventually they will pick up on the fact that it's a joke.
And it's a joke. They think we're serious. So many people think we're serious.
Lots of people either made fun of us or agreed with us about giants building the pyramids. But not one person said, this is a funny joke.
But what's also true is, what I'm saying, and my point is that we've had over 1 million people see our content. 20 years ago, imagine going to an actor or a filmmaker saying, you can have over 1 million people see what you're making. Every person that sees it is a potential fan, a potential, it's just a way to build.
What's the metric for a hit on Netflix? A couple million?
I think it's 40 million.
Okay, so it's more than a couple. But there's people achieving that on a daily basis on Instagram.
There's a few of them, but also that's 10 seconds as where a movie is. This is why you get paid more for ad revenue in television and movies, because a movie is an hour and a half long, so you're in their face for that much longer.
But all is that to say, if you can get the attention of 40 million people, opportunities will come to you.
Here's the thing, I don't think we need to get the attention of 40 million people. I think if we could get, it's a lot, but it's possible. If we could get 1 million people to pay attention to what we're doing, right? And then we can make a movie for extremely cheap, we could put it out, and then we can promote the shit out of it. I have a strategy where no matter what, I can guarantee us 100 million impressions. And if we can sell 1 million tickets or even 100,000 tickets, big gap there, I know, basically we can get the word of mouth, we can get publications, and we can make money on that movie. And then we're off to the races. Because next time around, we go to producers and agents and we say, we got another project. We need your help. We can do it 10 times what we did last time. We have to prove our model and our ability to make films and make money.
That people like.
That people like, which would be making money, commercial art. Fuck being good, this, that. If it needs to make money. If it makes money, it's real. Although it is important that it's here's the thing. That stage is about making money, but I'm not thinking about that when I'm writing the movie. I'm writing the movie, I'm thinking about making it as funny and as good as it can be.
I don't think I've ever once written a project, and I've worked with people who sit there and dissect every single letter.
I know.
And will this make money?
Will this make money?
And that's never once been, and I think that separates like actually getting shit done and making a good project.
Yeah.
Versus being a fucking loser who gets nothing done.
On the other hand, though, when I'm writing this movie, the movie I'm working on, Leap Year, and I have everything together for it, I'm just going to love the process of filming it. I mean, I'm having so much fun making...
Because it's enjoyable. It's a project you like.
Making these podcasts, making the reels. Mm-hmm. I'm doing, literally, this is so much fun to me. 1 million people could watch it, or 100 people could watch it. And quite frankly, I'd love a lot of people to watch it, but I'm having fun just making this content. That's why I'm doing it. To some degree, it's like no one's watching, but it's fun.
I look back at my videos that have 90 views, and they're some of my favorite videos. And, it'd be cool if more people saw it, but the fact that I saw it and I had a great time doing it, and it's a tangible thing that I can look back at forever, that's something that's really cool.
Eventually they'll be watching. But I think the future of Hollywood is really, and filmmaking and anything is really having a personal brand or having your own brand some way or another. And then it's going to be a bunch of independent, or art in general. It'll be so many independent creators that have their own audiences. The same way, except that don't rely on the system, as in the studios or the production companies, to put them in play, because right now you could be the best in the world, but no one will know about you unless you get an opportunity. You really create your own opportunities with social media.
100%.
And I think in 20 years, the entire ecosystem of entertainment will be changed because of it. Everyone will be their own studio.
I think that it's already there. Look at Mr. Beast, who he built an entire city for a game show. And if you looked at his YouTube
That was
videos,
silly. He spent way too much money doing that.
If you looked at his YouTube videos before, though, it was just so much camera equipment. But like all that equipment, maybe not at that scale, all that equipment's attainable by, smaller people. It was like Canons and GoPros. I could go out and get each of those cameras and do something not at that level, but I can get the same film equipment he used and make something up to that spec.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think social media brands are so important, and I think we're at the point in our careers where it's like, all right, we're not getting any younger. We're not old by any means in this industry, because people start making. Ridley Scott directed his first movie, I think, at 40, but he was doing commercials, thousands of them before that. But it's like, I think we have the technical skills, the expertise, the actual equipment, and understanding of the Hollywood ecosystem, and I think we have all this enough to kind of make a leap of faith to the next level, which would be a feature film. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to make a feature film that sucks and goes nowhere, though, because that would be a waste of time, I think, to some degree. I'm trying to make an actual good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not filming a movie on a full-length feature with like horrible sound, because that would waste time.
I am very selective about projects I work on nowadays, in the sense that if I don't think it's and that's not in a sense that if it's a higher level project, and I think I will learn from it, it doesn't matter if the script is bad, in my opinion, or whatever. I'll work on it if I think I have something to gain learning wise, in that sense. But if there's not a lot for me to gain from it, or I won't learn anything, if I'm the most knowledgeable person on that set, there's a high chance I wonbe it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not learning, I'm not growing. And somebody once told me that it's better to be, learning from, it's better to be on the set. It's always better to say it in less words, it's better to be surrounded by people who are better than you, because you're going to rise to their level and you'll learn from them.
Yeah.
Right. You're better off being a smaller fish in the ocean than the biggest fish in your pond.
Yeah.
And you're never going to escape that pond.
The other thing is, like, we see people who, in our industry, film, it's like, what do you do? How do you get to be a director? Well, you could start as a PA, you could learn all these things on set, work for free, and we've done that, and I genuinely think I know how a set runs now. But it's like, no one's ever going to say, hey, you're the PA, or hey, the gaff, you should direct this movie. Directors just start directing. We've been directing, we've seen how everyone else does it, now it's time for us to say, we're directors of a movie, and go direct. We know what it takes. I've seen people direct bad, I've seen people do good jobs directing, and it's about taking that leap of faith.
You'll never become a director by being a PA on set.
Yeah, there's no ladder.
Become a director by doing your own projects.
There's no ladder to that.
I recently spoke with people doing some reality show content, and we talked about film school a little bit, and they said that the best film school is what I'm doing right now, because I was filming interviews for this one production company. I was like, I totally agree. It's just going out and doing it. Mm-hmm. That's what matters.
And really, I want to do at least one or two movies before we get to the point where we continue to go up and we start getting money for our movies. I mean, if you want to make a movie, just go make the movie. Like, you don't need to. There doesn't need to be some grand plan or just make a movie.
David Sandberg did Lights Out as a 5-minute short, and now he just directed the video game movie for Sony. I'm totally forgetting what it was called. Until Dawn. He started just doing his shorts. He just went out and did it. And now he's doing movies for Sony on huge franchises. He did Shazam. He did Annabelle Creations. Now he's doing Until Dawn, because he went out and started making shit for himself, by himself.
We always end up going down the loophole of film and talking about movies and